I want to point something out here. Take a minute here. I was going to do it on Twitter, but it's the nuance that this requires. I think I've already maybe said more than 240 characters in this setup than it would be to tweet it out. And I totally understand why fans and observers, when they hear about COVID positive tests in the NFL, have a reaction to say that the NFL is not handling it properly by playing games just mere days after people are COVID positive. Totally get it. I'm seeing some of these senators in this confirmation hearing not wearing masks, and I'm thinking to myself, what the hell is their problem? Refusing to get COVID tested? We understand what politics are. And the NFL, as you know, we've had Dr. Alan Sills on the show, the chief medical officer of the NFL, on yesterday. He knows the exact number of positives that have not spread to another single soul in the building that the NFL has seen so far this year. The number is 60, and the reason why it has not spread in the building is because of masks, social distancing, everything they have set up as protocols. They have video of players they have video of players walking in buildings. They have video in the buildings to know where they are, if they're wearing masks or not. They know with tracer devices how close they are to other people and where it is. Is it outdoors? Is it indoors? Who's masked up? Who's not? They can make a decision based on all this. And yes, is it best, I mean, from a public health standard to just not play at all? Is it right from a public health standard to just cancel a game and figure out the schedule down the road? And then you hear people's, sure, of course it is, but we're having a football season. That was the decision that was made by the NFL and the Players Association. And for somebody who does a show like this and works at the NFL Network, I say thank God that we're playing football. And I appreciate the players deciding not to opt out and go for it. It might be a financial decision by them, or it might just be a love of the football, the sport of football. And I say I greatly appreciate it. It is not easy to be doing this. Kids at home, wives at home. Apparently, I read that Patrick Mahomes is staying in a hotel because his future wife is with child right now, and he doesn't want to run the risk. It's awful, but they're trying it. And the hand-wringing that I am seeing over the NFL season, it should be stopped in all of this, that I see for the NFL, I am not seeing at all when it comes to college football. At all. Everybody's just losing themselves in the Big 12 madness of the Red River rivalry, where fans are in the stands, unmasked, next to each other. I saw a screen grab of the Tennessee coach who's wearing his cover-up like a babushka tied around his head as if he's protecting his ears from COVID, but his mouth is exposed. I'm seeing coaches unmasked all over the place. Fans in the stands unmasked all over the place. I am seeing teams that are going on the field without a dozen players out due to COVID, and they're still playing their games. And the players aren't even being paid. And people have no problem with that. Go ahead. Did you see that game? Unbelievable. Wow. I don't get the disconnect. And then the coach of Florida, imagine if one of the head coaches of any of the Florida teams in the NFL, if Bruce Arians, if Brian Flores, if Doug Marrone, name a Florida NFL coach, imagine if that coach said what Dan Mullen said. That team over there has fans. That's why we lost. We can't have fans in Florida the same way they can in Texas. And we should have, now that Ron DeSantis, who's suddenly in his mind the Dr. Fauci of governors, he says we could have fans. Let's fill it up in the swamp. Could you imagine if an NFL head coach had said that? Like Dan Mullen, I'm going to run the super spread offense next week. In the swamp. Could you imagine? The NFL is, in America, the most visible business being run in America that is absolutely modeling exactly how this should be handled with masks and social distancing to the best of their ability in a contact sport. You're seeing coaches upstairs in a booth masked up. You're seeing coaches now double masked up. They're being fined for not being masked up. This sport is the one that gets like, oh my God, they've got to reschedule something for week 18. It's all falling apart. Stop it. College football, let the good times friggin' roll. I don't get it. Now you understand why I didn't say this on Twitter. Oh, you're the NFL Network guy. The NFL pays you. Tweet, send. Yeah, they pay me. They do. And it is not perfect. I don't work for a perfect league. I don't work for a perfect boss. I'm not a perfect person. Nobody is out there. They're attempting to hold a sport, a contact sport, in a pandemic. The contact tracing, the testing, the protocols, the setup, the payment, that's all happening. College football, I have no idea. Does anybody out there know what the contact tracing is from one school to the next? Anybody know? Anybody know? No. But we're just like, hey, did you see that big finish with Oklahoma and Texas? Hey, did you see? Hey, the SEC's playing. That's a big game coming up on CBS. Nobody's wringing their hands at all over it. And I'll get lost in the Big Ten, too, when my alma mater starts. But can we pump the brakes a little bit, or at least get a little bit more of an equivalency here between the way that fans are responding on social media with the way the NFL is conducting its business and the way that college football is conducting its business without paying the kids that are out there? What is it? I really would love an answer. What is the disconnect? Why is it? Because the NFL is a big behemoth with billions of dollars and they should be knowing better? They're modeling exactly the way we should be battling this virus. I saw on 60 Minutes last night a whole bunch of doctors who are battling this virus saying they'd rather have a mask than a vaccine. That's how effective the masks are. And the Tennessee coach I saw literally looked like he was on the set of Fiddler on the Roof, the way he had the babushka tied around his neck. Literally, it looked like one of the shots from my childhood of my grandma Minnie playing mahjong. That guy's out there. But no, this is good. It's SEC football. An NFL coach does that. Why is he not masked up? Is he going to be fined? Are they in trouble? This is exactly why it's spreading. We should stop. Does the NFL not have a plan for this? What is going on with the NFL? What's the disconnect? I feel better. When you look down at your computer, that means either you don't want to chime in or you don't think
No, I know.
I
think you're nailing it. I think you're nailing it.
What is the answer? What is the difference? Is it parts of our country that have different opinions of what it is to be social distant and how important it is and masked up? Is that what it is? I don't know. Because I'm not seeing it. I'm not seeing it on Twitter, where it's just like, how in the hell are they playing this? This team is missing 14 players due to COVID. Could you imagine if the NFL took the field as their 14 players are COVID positive? Could you imagine?
I mean, one player, boom, they moved the game.
Could you imagine?
Yeah.
But college football. So I guess two kids can't wear number 98 on the same day. Nice. So honestly, what's the difference? Hey, you watched all the way to the end. Thanks for that. Watch more right here.